All right, so I'm back. I just got done watching Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man movie. What can I say? I'm disappointed. I yes, in my opinion, is it an okay movie? If you're expecting to watch something dumb, yes, and I think for what it is, which is a dumb superhero movie, it does it better than the Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing piece of shit, if you ask me. But um, that being said, I do have to give the Amazing Spider-Man the win. Like overall, even after I just raged for like 10 minutes about it, I have to give it the win because it's the first of probably quite a few Spider-Man movies, which means it's gonna have something to do with it's gonna expand. Um, for those of you that have never seen the Tobey Maguire uh, version, basically it starts off and it goes to the scene. Um, Peter Parker is he's late for his school bus. Like he comes in, you hear Tobey Maguire's voice, which might add is the worst thing to have to hear ever. And like the whole time, all I could think was like, oh, it would be great if Christopher Walken was voicing this. Every day, my life is not the greatest. Now him, I would rather be that guy. Cause he's not chasing the boss, like, and like that's honestly what he says. It pans in and it's like this fat kid, and he's like getting, I forget how he's getting picked on or something like that. And like then all of a sudden it goes outside and like Peter Parker, who honestly is not as dumb looking as some of the kids on that bus, like is getting picked on by like even the school bus drivers. Like he sees him out there, he's laughing that he can't get on the bus, like but which I think he's kind of a dick, but that gives him some balls. I think that guy should have been Spider-Man, like because like honestly, and I think it's funny because MJ, his girl who gets captured a lot, uh, is the one who tells the bus driver to stop and let him on. But that's how it starts off. So like immediately you're like, oh great, this guy's a nerd, and he's gonna be the leader. He's gonna be the guy like in this situation, and like there's some cool scenes, just like in I'm pretty sure they did the same thing with Amazing Spider-Man, but I was more disappointed with this version for two reasons. There's something that really stood out to me, and I think it was the funniest part in Tobey Maguire's version. There's a scene, and it's right after he gets bitten, and you hear the bully's name is Flash, which for those of you that don't know, Flash Thompson is the current Venom. What happens is it turns out that the Venom symbiote gives off radiation, much like that which is inside Peter Parker, which gives him his spider powers. Well, the radiation poisoned Eddie Brock and gave him cancer, and then separated from him. Like, screw you, you can't do anything. Like, and I thought that was pretty rough. But part of it stayed behind and became anti Venom. In the comic books, everyone, there's no movie about this right now. How cool would that be, right? No, but no, they won't because there's no Eddie Brock in this one. But which depresses me even more. But anyways, point is, you have Eddie Brock in the comics, who is also in the Spider-Man trilogy, um, and he's anti-Venom, and the other part split off. Well, Flash Thompson was originally not just the bully of Spider-Man. No, in the original comics, he was actually the leader of the school group dedicated to Spider-Man. Like he was Spider-Man's biggest fan. Like, so like this is the part that got me was there's a scene and he basically hits him with like he shoots off a web and hits Flash with a thing of food, and that starts a big fight, and he like walks out of there, and I thought that was great just because like then he goes out there and like Flash goes up and he starts trying to hit him, and like there's this really cool scene where Flash like goes like this and it's like as fast as he could, and like Spider-Man is just like, what? Like, and he like you can see he's just like watching the fist, like it's really slow mo. Like there was no special effects whatsoever. Like everything in the background still going normal speed, which was kind of funny first of all because like it's like okay, well not everything can be slowed down and like, but it was kind of cool, and then like it was supposed to symbolize like his reflexes are really good. But then this is the thing, like he's dodging all these fists, and like when he takes on both Flash Thompson and one of his goons who I guess has the hots for Flash because he's like, you're not messing with Flash, I'm gonna step in, and then he does some flip and he's like, see ya Flash, like, and then Flash gets hit and he gets knocked out by the biggest nerd in school, and like he just leaves school, which is cool. And then it pans in and it's later that day. Like literally it's later that day. She even says, what? Mary Jane sees him. She comes out. She had gotten into a fight with her father, who I guess is abusive. And she's like, oh my God, what happened earlier today? And he said, oh, I didn't want to do that. And then, like you see in the background, Flash is like, yo, MJ, check out what I got for my birthday. So, okay, for those of you that haven't paid attention, he got his ass whooped by Tobey Maguire. I'm not even going to say Peter Parker because Peter Parker's not as lame as Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire beat up this poor kid on his birthday in front of their entire school who knows that he is a nerd and he is a jock. Well, anyways, that's the part that really made me laugh the most. And I think that after that, like most of the jokes fell flat. But the thing is though, the thing that bothered me about both was Flash Thompson. He's a dick, but he's not as bad as they make him out to be. And eventually he joins the army, which would have been nice if they had said, Mary Jane broke up with him because he joined the army, which then would have led into later on, they could have set up, but they didn't. And what happens, for those of you that don't know, spoiler alert, the symbiote gets captured by the United States government, and they start testing on see what its extent is. They create a failsafe in the suit of the symbiote so that they can press a button and it'll eject off of the person. Like it creates a sound wave throughout the whole entire symbiote and shoots it off. And it's like attached to the symbiote. It's inside of the symbiote, so the symbiote can't just spit it out or something. And I thought that was wicked cool, and Flash Thompson is so awesome because they're like, oh my God, you lost your legs in the war in Iraq, which is so cool that they would tie it into the real world, and I thought that was the coolest shit. And then they're like, they put it on him, and not only does the symbiote replace his legs, like he's able to run super fast, and he's like, oh my God, I'm Spider-Man, because he's the biggest fan of Spider-Man. And they're like, no. He's like, what? You're Venom. And he's like, the guy who hates Spider-Man? Like, it was great. And it's really good. And if you get a chance, I do recommend read the comics, people, because they are so much better than any movie that has been out so far. Well, depends on what you like. If you don't like to sit there and use your imagination where you can see all the scenes coming to life, well, then you had no childhood. Get the hell out of my sight. But for those of you who do enjoy, to read every now and then, pick up a comic once in a while because they're pretty entertaining. I just started reading the Nova series, the new one that just came out, and oh my God, Sam Alexander is awesome. And I mean, a lot of people are going to complain, oh, he's not like normal Nova, he's self-centered, he's uncaring, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. That's him right now. And let's be honest, they showed it really well in both Tobey Maguire's and The Amazing Spider-Man that most of the time they start off, they get these powers and they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand things. And I think that Spider-Man explains it the best. He, especially in Tobey Maguire's and partially in The Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man was a little less so because it was kind of rushed. Like, he's walking down the street, his uncle's dead. Like, but even so, like, it was a really touching scene for both of them. I mean, even it was a pretty good scene. But Tobey Maguire's clearly did that scene way better, which is the whole. He goes to test out his skills, see what he's like. He gets in the ring, he lasts 2 minutes, and then the guy's like, you only lasted 2. You didn't make it the 3rd minute. Like, so he gives him $100 instead of $3,000. And he's like, so then the guy gets robbed, and Spider-Man lets him by because he's like, I forget, the guy said something. He goes, when Spider-Man says, I needed that money, I need to buy a car, which was self-centered to begin with because he only wanted a car to impress MJ. The guy goes, not my problem. Like, okay, you're a dick. Cool. Not really any backstory to that. You just don't like kids who can beat up your wrestlers, which might add, I wouldn't either if it were Bonesaw. Like, Bonesaw's ready. Like, I loved it, and it was great. But anyway, point is, like, it sets up that, and then the guy gets robbed, and the guy runs by, and he just lets him by, and the cop goes, why'd you do that? The guy goes, you could have laid him down easily. And Spider-Man's like, sorry, it's not my problem. Well, later on, you find out the guy that he let by needed a car, so he shot Ben, Uncle Ben, dead. And I thought that was, in my opinion, that was more, like, touching, and the scene where he's like, with great power comes great responsibility. That was kind of rushed, but it was a good scene and whatnot, and it led up eventually where Spider-Man's like, damn it, I gotta take him out. Like, and he does. He does a really good job. That being said, in The Amazing Spider-Man, one thing, it bothered me because, like, I do like the iconic scene where Uncle Ben's like, listen, son, I want you to understand sometimes when you don't do things, you like, in every comic book of Spider-Man, every cartoon, and even so far in the movies, and they did do it in Amazing Spider-Man. People didn't notice it very well, but even I noticed they do the scene, and it's basically Uncle Ben tells him, hey, listen, we all change, but you gotta remember to stay human, like, you gotta realize that even if you don't want to do something because you don't like it, if it's gotta get done, you gotta do it, and I think, obviously Tobey Maguire's version wins at this because they show it. I mean, but at the same time, I feel like Amazing Spider-Man did do a great job of portraying it. The scene, he gets into an argument with Uncle Ben and Aunt May, and he's going on, and like, they never actually say, with great power comes great responsibility, but you know he learns it because at the end of the movie, when he's bleeding to death, like he's stabbed, he's shot at, he's got cuts all over his face, he comes in, he's got milk. Or eggs. I forget which one it is. But yeah, he walks in and he realized he promised something. It's got to get done. And that kind of, that was an iconic scene in my opinion, was just him accepting the role as Spider-Man. And so, I guess this is kind of where I'm like, I'm the toss-up. There's the skateboarding scene. Hold on, wait, I did that wrong. There's the skateboarding scene. Which, freaking, she can't act. But point is, there's the skateboarding scene, and then there's also these scenes, which are so amazingly done well, and honestly, they couldn't have been done better. I mean, granted, the spider scene was kind of stupid, because he steps in there, and what if there was more than one spider on him? Now there's like 18 Spider-Man. But anyways, the point is, I'm not going to go into all the problems with this movie, because there's a lot of them, and it would take way too long. Basically, give it a shot, you guys. I'm going to see what happens in the next movie. If it's not to my liking, I might not even see it. No, that's not true. I will see every sequel to this just because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man. I love Venom. Honestly, I'm more hoping that they pull out Flash Thompson Venom, I'm hoping for, Anti-Venom to make a show. I'm hoping for Carnage. I'm going to tell you what I think, and when it comes to the bare minimum, I believe that this is going to be a good series in the end. I think right now it sucks. So, kind of enjoy it. Oh, and almost forgot. I don't want to be like the skateboarding scene. Superhero League is basically, we pick a team of 15 superheroes that we want from any universe whatsoever. We then have debates about which ones would win. 1 week it's singles, where we'll pick, like, I might say Hank Pym versus Hulk, or Hank Pym versus Firestar, or Hank Pym versus Superman. Anything. Like, I'm saying Hank Pym because Hank Pym's my leader. He's on my team. And then the next week it'll be teams where you pick 5 guys and they go up against the other team. And it's like, okay, this is, it's kind of cool. That being said, it's pretty fun. I do it every Monday and I quite enjoy it. So, yeah, if you guys like my videos, subscribe. I'm going to be doing another one right after this. It's going to be about Injustice, the video game. Sorry if there's no visuals and you guys usually like the visuals. It's more of me, I don't like the word for vlog. It's more like a review without visuals, I guess. Who knows, maybe one day I'll actually get software where I can put in visual effects, or I might even record me playing a game one time. But point is, guys, I hope you like it. Subscribe if you do. Tell your friends about me, and till next time, JackTrade out.